A crazy Karen tries to stalk me at Walmart. Okay, so I have an EBT card, and thanks to the slow mail service, I got my card with about 4 months of money on it, which was a nice surprise. I was at the checkout, and this young lady was in front of me, and I noticed that she had baby food, formula, and other food for a small child. No snacks, just crackers and baby stuff. The cashier said to her, "I'm sorry, it says insufficient funds." The young lady tried again, but had the exact same result. Well, this woman looked as if her entire world was ending, so I stepped in and said, "Excuse me, can you just add my stuff on and I'll just pay for it?" The young lady looked surprised, and she protested, saying she couldn't pay me back. I just let her know that it was my pleasure to help her out, and I asked her if she had any food for herself. She just shook her head and said no, and that she'll just go down to the church and get some food if she really gets hungry. I asked her if she wanted to grab a few things for herself, like a frozen pizza or spaghetti egg rolls or cheese or crackers or bread or anything. Again, she said no, so I ended up putting my bread, my cheese, and some frozen dinners in her bag and wished her good luck. I mean, hey, I get it. The struggle is real. I finished up and went to replace my items. And as I was going, I noticed this woman who was making rude little huffs and puffs behind me as she begins to follow me. I get my items and go to the area where they can get lottery tickets and some other stuff. And as I'm paying, this idiotic, crazy Karen comes up to me and says, "You can add mine to hers, seeing that she's paying for strangers today." I just looked at the cashier who I'm friendly with and we both started laughing. I honestly didn't think she was serious. The Karen said, "What? You paid for her and you gave her some of your stuff. I'm a single mom. I'm not rich like you." Oh honey, you know nothing. I just shook my head, basically saying no. The Karen then got a little aggressive. "Hey, you, excuse me. Oh, you are so rude." I just look at her and say, "What?" "Okay, whatever, Karen." The Karen sputters, "Well," and at this point, I had just about had it and I said, "Well, what?" The Karen then chimes in and looks at the cashier and says, "She's paying for me. She's got my items." The cashier looked at her and said, "No, she doesn't. Have a good day, ma'am." And she hands me the receipt and I'm on my way. The Karen then says, "Why are you being so selfish? I need to feed my kids." And I look at her and say, "That sounds like a you problem, not a me problem." That's when she blows up. "Who do you think you are? I need help." I told her that I realize your problems are valid and I do sympathize with you, but I can't help you, so please, get away from me. Thankfully, the cashier chimed in and said, "Miss, this is the 4th time in 2 days you've been asked to stop harassing customers." The Karen tried to protest and act like they're doing nothing wrong, and that's exactly when loss prevention stepped in. A large man with a badge approached her and told her to leave. I was walking out when I heard her starting to screech and yell about how she has no money and that she can't afford any of her groceries, and that she was expecting someone to try and help her, kind of like how I helped that one lady. But I got out of there and didn't have to have anything to do with that entitled Karen. This Karen is one of those people that try to capitalize on someone else's goodwill and use it against them. It's one of those freeloading con artists who will just try to bully you into doing what they want you to do. And it's really gross and disgusting. I find the contrast between her and the young lady earlier in the story to be really interesting. One is actually in need of help and assistance, whereas this other Karen is just trying to mooch off of other people's generosity. And I love the fact that this story has told her multiple times, you can't be here harassing customers and trying to beg people for money. Like, that's not okay. If she's really in need of assistance, it's time to go look for the resources that can provide you that assistance. Chasing down people in Walmart and trying to get them to give you money or pay for your groceries is not the solution you want to go with. In the end, it was a really good deed, and it's unfortunate that the Karen tried to ruin the moment.
The full version of this story is on the Am I the Jerk YouTube channel, so check out the link in the description for it, and if there are any updates, that's where they'll be. And if you happen to use TikTok, even if it's only every once in a while, I definitely would recommend checking out the Am I the Jerk TikTok at Am I the Jerk. It's a great way to catch up on some old and new random stories here we have on the channel, but you might not actually ever be able to see them over here on YouTube. So check out the Am I the Jerk TikTok.